What's going on, everybody? It's Pre-Snap Read with the Rising Rhino, and
Dr. Delay.
we're here going to give you a little recap of the weekend and plenty other content. But first, Dr. Delay, how was your weekend?
Not too bad, actually. Well, obviously, I was doing what you were doing. I was streaming, and still, yeah, it was a very good weekend. Very good weekend for the channel.
Lots of
Lots of great
football.
football.
Oh, it was amazing. I saw you had a good stream for college.
Yeah, I had two good college streams, so well, hopefully that continues. Yeah, that was very awesome, very awesome. Got 88 subs on Saturday through three
Jeez
streams. So, yeah,
Louise.
no, it was a great Saturday. Hopefully we can get. I mean, I'm not going to be unrealistic to say, oh yeah, we need that every single weekend, but yeah, no, that was a blessing and helps the channel out a lot.
Pretty nice. I think you're around 150 subs away from 1,000. Very nice.
Closing in
Congratulations.
848, so 152. But yeah, hopefully we get that today. Got two streams today. I'm sure you have is probably two streams today as well, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I'll be covering
Yeah,
both the Monday night
yeah.
games.
Yeah, I'll
Gotta
just
set
be
those
doing
up
one of
soon.
those. I'll be doing a baseball game and a football game. But yeah, let's talk some football, man. Let's do it.
Let's start up, rise up, and then we're gonna go the top five teams and the bottom five teams. So we'll run through this top five teams. I try to put them in in 1 through 5, but there was a couple close ones. I went Bills on top. I got Ravens. I got Packers. I got Eagles, and I got Lions at 5. Um, the Lions a little iffy. The Colts could be up there. That's how far they're rising on up. The Lions, they were playing the Bears, but I still have them in the top 5. Ravens 1-1. They're still up there because you watch them. You just know they're making the playoffs. They're winning the division. They're just cruising. Packers, I moved up to 3. Their defense and everything, they got a complete team. So it's Bills, Ravens, Packers, Eagles, Lions. What's
I
your
think it's a
top
good
5?
list. That's a good list. So I'm a little bit different than you, Rhino, when it comes to these lists. Okay, so I like to try to get as many opinions as possible. So I kind of last night, and this is kind of what happened last night at the local Valero.
You're talking to
A
random
group,
people
a
about the
group,
top
a
5?
group
Well,
of
you're talking about the gas
scholars,
station.
a
Who
group
cares
of
about Joe
scholars,
Schmo at the gas
sports
station?
analysts,
We want to
media
give him a chat.
personalities, and one Swifty who was pretty adamant that
Swifty.
Taylor Swift would never change her last name to Kelsey. She brought it up many times in the conversation, fought and toiled and burned the midnight oil to bring you the greatest top 5 teams of all time, or at least, for week 2. This is the top 5 teams in the NFL currently. At number 5, the Chargers. I understand they're still 1-0, have yet to play the game 2, but they looked very good in week 1.
I
I
like
think
it.
they
I
take
like it.
care of business tonight. At
Not because
number
of the
4,
Swifty, though, but I like it.
well, yeah, I know the Swifty pretty upset about that, but just had to get over it. Number 4, that's why it's a committee. A lot of opinions. Number 4, the Ravens. I understand they're 1-1, but they played a great game week 1. Just had a terrible fourth quarter. They took care of business against the Browns, blew them out. I believe the score not. It was a blowout. I just can't remember the score. Number 3, the
41-17.
41. Yeah, they blew them out. Number 3, the Eagles. The Eagles took care of business in Kansas City. I understand maybe not what we wanted in week 1 from them, considering, how great they were last year. And again, there was a scrappy win yesterday. But again, a win is a win. And until they lose, they're still a top 5 team. At number 2, the Green Bay Packers. They look very good. They were my NFC Super Bowl pick. I don't mean to keep bringing that up. It's not like I know ball or anything. But they look very good. So they look like they are headed to great things. And number 1, well, it's my Super Bowl pick again. I hate to keep bringing up just the fact that I know ball, but the Bills, they look so good again, coming back in the fourth quarter week 1, dominating the Jets week 2. Those are my top 5 teams in the NFL. Of course, again, with the committee as well. So every week we'll be providing those top 5. The committee gets together for the best top 5 in the
That
NFL.
committee is just the worst, but you got top 5 picks are pretty good this week. But no thanks to the committee. They can go pump some gas. They can shut their mouth, and we're going to the bottom 5. All right, so my bottom 5 are, I'm going to go down to 32. So we got the Browns, Then the Panthers, Titans, the Bears, and the Saints at the bottom.
The
So
Saints at the
Saints
bottom. Okay.
32, Bears 31, Titans 30, Panthers 29, and Browns 28.
To be honest,
For
I kind of misinterpreted that. I don't know why I read it that it was the top 5 worst performances of Week 5, so I have a little bit difference. Give me a sec, though.
all
I can
good, all
try.
good. I'll talk for
I
a second. You could
Yeah.
gather your thoughts. But Browns and Flacco, terrible. Oh man, they played the Bengals close. The Bengals aren't that good, so that's why the Browns kept it close. I don't believe in the Bengals. We'll get to them later. Panthers to Bryce Young. They were dominated all day. They came back in the end in the fourth quarter. But Bryce Young's stats look good on paper, but it didn't happen until the fourth quarter. So pretty bad stuff there by the Panthers. So make sure you guys go put the bottom 5 in the chats. And then the Titans, Cam Ward, he is a rookie of all rookies. I didn't get a chance to watch that game, but the Rams took them down. They kept it close, but Cam Ward can't do anything. Not yet. He needs way more time. He's going to need more time than Bo Nix did last year. And the Bears. Caleb Williams and the Bears just looking flat out awful. Offense, defense. They got blown out by the Lions, 52-21. I knew the Lions were going to come back and smash them. Not come back and smash them, but like go out and smash this week because they lost to the Packers, they got dominated by the Packers rather, and they just took it all out on the Bears, and then they flexed their muscles. And Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, ridiculous. And then the Saints, they're the worst. They're the worst. They couldn't beat a Mac Jones Niners team with all the injuries. So it's no Kittle, no firepower. They took them forever to score a touchdown or score some points. But then they tried to make it interesting. But they're still just so bad. They don't have any weapons. They got Kamara, and that's it. So they're on the bottom. They're going to stay there for a while. I almost had the Seahawks down there, but you know what happened. So they moved themselves out of the top 5. But yeah, those are my bottom 5 right now. All right, what do you got?
Okay. All right. Very quickly here. But yeah, so the 5th worst team in the NFL right now, the Panthers. Panthers actually had a chance to win the game late against the Cardinals. So they were just really one drive away from being off this list, but they are still 0-2. Bryce Young still looks like he well, again, he played better at the end of the game, but it really, for the first 6 quarters of the season, it looks like he was pretty much the Bryce Young that we saw in his rookie year in the beginning
The
part of
first
last
half,
year.
yeah.
So, again, one half of good football. We'll see if that continues. The 4th worst team right now, the Saints. So, I thought they were the number 1 pick for sure, for surefire number 1 pick. But honestly, their losses have been close games. So, we'll see. They might not be the best team, but they're kind of a scrappy team. And again, I know the Niners were very
You mean
banged
crappy,
up.
crappy, not scrappy.
Scrappy. And possibly crappy, but yeah, I know they have 2 close losses. That's respectable. And again, I know that the Niners were beat up yesterday, but they still hung in there. The Niners still have a lot of solid players. The 3rd worst team, the Titans. The Titans just look like a mess, and really not much to really talk about. They're just kind of going to be one of the worst teams in the league this year. I don't really think that changes. Number 31, the Browns. The Browns almost winning week 1 against the Bengals. But yesterday they showed their true colors again, getting blown out. You said it was 41-17. And yeah, it's going to be a disastrous season for the Browns. We'll probably see. We actually saw a little bit of Dylan Gabriel yesterday, apparently.
They put him out there? I didn't see that.
Yeah, apparently he got 3 throws in and we completed all 3. I think they're all check downs, but it is what it is. And the worst team in the league right now, the Bears. The Bears look terrible, blowing it against the Vikings and then getting blown out against the Lions yesterday. So a disaster. No faith in Caleb Williams. No faith in the entire organization. They are bad. And I don't know. It's actually kind of nice because the Bears fans actually reacted the worst whenever I was making my power rankings videos on TikTok and, of course, on Twitter. So, or not Twitter, but YouTube. So I definitely look forward to in a few weeks. Going to let it sit for a little bit, but I am definitely going to be starting to respond to some of those comments. Oh man, it's going to feel so good. It's going to feel so good.
I do like your bottom 5 list a lot better because it didn't involve the committee. So I'm glad that.
Yeah, that one was all me. That was all me.
So that's why it was just so much better. It was amazing. We didn't have to hear from Joe down at the gas station. But hey,
Yeah,
this it is what it is. What
the
is it? I don't
committee.
know.
Hey, the committee's good. It was a great list.
The committee is good. All right, we'll go with studs and duds. With players that performed and shined, and then the people, the duds are not just crappy players that play crappy, because we know that the crappy guys that you expect a little bit more from before, and then they just don't do anything. My stud of the week, there's a bunch of them, which I'll just mention a couple others. So honorable mention to Jared Goff with his 5 touchdowns. Honorable mention to Amon-Ra St. Brown with his 3 touchdowns. And Jamar Chase with his 14 catches, 165 yards. Honorable mention, honorable mention, honorable mention. Amazing games. But Lions played the Bears, and yeah, the Bengals. Well, Jamar Chase is freaking Jamar Chase. But anyway, I'm going with this guy right here, Jonathan Taylor. He had 25 carries,
Oh my
165 yards on the ground. Pretty much that sweet 68-yard run at the end. And he had 2 catches, 50 yards, and a touchdown. Helped take over that game and help them beat the Broncos at the end. So Jonathan Taylor breaking out. He didn't have a great game last week, but he is the stud of the week for the Rhino. Let's hear yours.
Are you sure it was Jonathan Taylor that helped him at the end there? I don't know. More on that a little bit later.
Oh, don't you get
Yeah,
started now.
well, we will
It's
definitely
karma.
discuss
Karma.
that. But we're not going to talk about quarterbacks later. I have 2 on the list, but
Oh,
that's
we
fine.
will.
Okay, all right. Well, then I will save them for later. So my
It's
stud of
next.
the
The
week,
quarterback's next.
my stud of the week is Jamar Chase. 14 catches, 165 and a touchdown. But what makes that even better is the fact that Joe Burrow, I don't know, you probably heard about it. He might be out. He might be out for potentially up to 3 months. That is crazy. It's a huge blow to the Bengals, but he still performs regardless of Burrow or not. So again, Jamar Chase, to me, elite talent, well on his way if he continues his pace to the Hall of Fame. To me, it's like him and Justin Jefferson, but Malik Neighbors is also a guy that I think is very good. I think he's the closest thing to Antonio Brown I've seen. I'm not just saying that as a Steeler, but he literally plays exactly like him. High football IQ, shifty as heck, but plays big on the contested catches. Malik Neighbors is awesome. But yeah, Jamar Chase, what a performance. And they needed it. Again, it was a close win against the Jaguars. So that is my stud of the week, Jamar Chase. That is my guy.
All right. So we go to the duds. I got 2 duds. I can go either way, but I'm going to go with honorable mention Aaron Rodgers with his 18 for 33, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. But he is not my dud of the week, but he's up there because Rodgers did not come through, especially against the Seahawks. But my main dud of the week is J.J. McCarthy. 11 for 21, 158 yards passing last night in prime time, back-to-back games. He choked most of the game last week, came through in the fourth quarter, but now we know it was just against the Bears because that's how bad the Bears are. But 2 interceptions against the Falcons. Awful game. The Falcons defense sacked him so many times. I even lost count. I can't even count that high how many times he was sacked. He holds onto the ball. He can't make decisions, just like last week. I was talking to my brother-in-law down at the gas station, I guess, and he's a big Vikings fan, and he was thinking good things to J.J. McCarthy. It was at Buffalo Wild Wings the other day, not the gas station. But J.J. McCarthy might need to go work at the gas station. That's how terrible he is. He's the dud of the week. He was terrible, and the Bears are even worse. Dud of the week, J.J. McCarthy.
Pretty good pick. So my dud, kind of going to be interesting is like, why are you signaling out this guy? Why a tight end? Why a tight end? Well, I'll tell you why. Travis Kelce. Multiple drops yesterday. I got to cover it myself. Tipped a ball right into the hands of a defender. They were driving. Huge momentum shift in that Kansas City-Philadelphia game. Kelce, old man Kelce. Never liked him to begin with, to be honest with you, even before all this craziness with him. But yeah, never liked him.
Is he related to Old Man Rodgers?
What's that?
Is he related to Old Man Rodgers?
He is not old. No, he's not. Old man Kelce, Old man Rodgers, they are different.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they are definitely not the same family. But yeah, Kelce blew it yesterday with an easy touchdown. Again, just off the hands.
He dropped a touchdown.
Yeah, it was pretty much going. Again, it was a momentum shifter. It drops a touchdown, falls into the hands of the Eagle, who returns it 40 yards down the field. Just completely takes the Chiefs out of the game. And Yeah, that is my dud of the week. Rodgers, again, I think it was more the O line not giving him enough time. It was horrible. Yeah, that O line is terrible, but we'll talk more about that possibly later. If not, that's okay. But
You
that is
love
my
your
dud of the week.
Aaron Rodgers. You love it. You love it. All right, fair enough. The offensive line for the Pittsburgh Steelers giving them a lot of trouble. All right, quarterback spotlight. I got two quarterbacks that I'm going to shine on. Of course, my Daniel Jones rising on up. He had the fourth best QBR of the week at 78 behind Goff, Josh Allen, Mahomes, and then Daniel Jones. So then Drake May was fifth in QBR. But the fourth QBR this week, he was third last week, and he's doing all the right things. So he is my main spotlight of the week because nobody saw this coming. So this is just crazy. We're just going to keep riding this wave for the Colts. But the main guy, the front runner for MVP, because I think Daniel Jones will be more like comeback player of the year because he is not on Lamar Jackson's level. Josh Allen's amazing. He actually had the second best QBR, but I feel like he didn't do much because they just kept giving it to Cook. But quarterback spotlight, Lamar Jackson, 4 touchdowns, and it didn't look like he had to do anything. He only had 225 yards passing, but it was against the Browns. I get it. But Burrow struggled against the Browns, and Lamar tore him up. So Lamar is front runner for MVP. I like Justin Herbert in the weeds and Josh Allen right there, but Lamar Jackson is better than everybody else.
Yeah, no, he's one of my two that I had here for the quarterbacks. Again, he only had like 13 yards rushing, so he didn't have to do much with his legs, and yet again, showing that he can get it done through the air. Though again, I still think he's very consistent when it comes to passing. We'll see those ugly games happen when you need it most. What I mean by that is in the playoffs, but we're not in the playoffs right now. He looked good in week 2, 225 yards, 4 touchdowns. My other guy, Jared Goff, and believe it or not, again, we had him on the what was I forgot was like the quarter. We talked about him last week. I just can't remember what it was, but he needed to bounce back today.
He was
yesterday.
awful last week.
And he was horrible last week. He needed to bounce back, and he did. 334 yards, 5 touchdowns. Obviously against the Bears, obviously now ranked to me the worst team in the league as of now, but still, regardless, a great performance. And the Lions look to be trending back to what they were last year. Again, the last 2 games they had played prior to this game yesterday, they lost. They lost to the Commies in the divisional round, and of course losing at Green Bay. So they've had a rough last 2 football games. And again, a really solid bounce back performance for the Lions and just Goff in general.
So you're going all in Goff. Yeah, so that also shines a light on how good the Packers defense really is, because shutting down Goff and he just blows it up, throwing 5 touchdowns, doing everything he wants to, especially to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Pretty crazy. All right, so we'll have to buy, sell, and then we'll get to overreactions, and then we'll do a little rapid fire. We'll see how much time we have left for all our picks, and the recap of all the games in a quick rundown. So we got buy, sell. My first question is the 49ers are 2-0. They won 26-21 led by Mac Jones. Purdy's going to be out a few more weeks. But the Niners, are we buying the Niners to win the NFC West, or are we selling the 49ers and the NFC West?
Well, I understand. There was a conversation about the Cardinals last weekend, or not last weekend, but last show. But the 49ers were my original pick to win the NFC West. I mean, I believe that they were returning to form prior to the season. I still think that's very doable, again, without some key stars yesterday. Again, shout out the chat, by the way. On my end, I'm seeing some great comments there. Thank you, Draven, about, Kittle better than Kelsey is going to die on the hill. Of course, Denny, thank you for tuning in, and Ultimate Sports Network saying he hates the Browns now. But, yeah, shout out you guys. But yeah, no, I would buy that for sure. The Niners, again, very loaded. The key is really health, but they showed yesterday but they might not even need to be 100% healthy. Of course, it was against the Saints, but it is in New Orleans. And of course, teams are going to win this year. Just because the Saints are terrible doesn't mean they're going to go in 17. I mean, that's never happened. It might happen this year to them, but again, they played 2 close games. But no, I would buy the Niners. They are a solid team. And a great coaching, of course, over there as well. They got Saleh back on the defensive side of the for defensive coordinator. He's a great defensive coordinator. They look good, so I would definitely buy the Niners
You're buying the Niners, yeah. I'm selling the Niners. I didn't have them before. I had them as a wild card, so I still don't have them winning the division. They could barely beat the Saints. Like I said, the injuries, but this is going to linger for a few weeks, so they're probably going to get a few losses. But I'm in on the Rams. They beat the Texans last week, and they took down the Titans this week. I know it's the Titans, but way higher on the Rams than the Niners. So I don't believe in the Niners. Just they don't have enough weapons. And then even when they come back, how long are they going to stay injured? So not on the Niners. They're falling down my list, and maybe they don't even make the playoffs. I don't even. They might never
Hmm,
make the playoffs. Um,
interesting.
that's what I'm worried about. So, yeah, I'm going to sell those Niners. Sell them, sell them, sell them. They're done.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, so again, my buy sell overreaction. I have it all in the same category here. I have three of these. So to me, the Packers and the Eagles are clearly the two best teams in the NFC. They're clear cut above the rest. There's the Packers, Eagles, and then there's a gap, and then there's, you can throw in the Lions, or you can throw in, the Cowboys. If you think a 3-point win over the Giants,
Cowboys.
then you can go ahead and put them in there. I'm not going to put them in there, but I know there might be fans that do it. Obviously, Green Bay
America's team.
manhandled Washington. So again, I feel like there's a clear cut, established top two teams in the NFC. Packers, Eagles, NFC Championship. What do you say? Buy or sell?
Ooh. Um, Eagles are winning. I wouldn't say they look good, but they're winning. That was a big win against the Chiefs. I'm trying to think who else has a chance in the NFC. The Rams. I'm liking how that's going as long as Stafford stays healthy. Jaden Daniels had one of the worst QBRs this week against the Packers. Don't think they could take them out in the playoffs. Niners, I don't believe. Man, I mean, the Lions, I think they're going to bounce back. That should be a great game of the playoffs. So, depending on if that's in Detroit or Green Bay, there's a chance that they can take out one of those teams. Um, Man, I feel like the Lions are the only other team in there. So depending on that,
Yeah, I mean the Lions would never lose a home playoff game, right? I can't think of that. Yeah, they would never do it.
no, the
Never do
Lions.
it.
How many Super Bowls have the Lions been to? I mean, come on, they're so good. They're always in it, but never win it. But never, they can't make it there. The history weighs way too long in favor of the Packers. I get it. Uh, there's only one other team in the way. I think it's not looking good. The Eagles are going to dominate again. Packers shooting on up. There's three teams, so most likely, I guess I would have to buy it with a chance of the Lions. So that's where I'm leaning. I don't like it. I don't want to see it, but I'd like to see the
You
Lions
don't
make it to
like
the
the
Super
Eagles
Bowl.
or Packers? What's wrong with them? Well, I mean, I like the
Well,
Packers.
no,
I don't know. The
I
Eagles,
want
but the
I want to
Packers,
see the Lions get there. They're finally on the top of their game. They're
eh,
relevant for the last few years. I
eh.
want to see a Lions Bills Super Bowl because they both never won one. So, but you're
I don't know.
probably right. It's
Well,
looking
then you
that
got to
way.
get there. I guess that's kind of what I'm saying.
It's looking that way. What do you think?
I mean, I'm look. I mean, I buy it. I like this. I think again, those are the two top teams. Packers defense smothering everyone they play, and the Eagles again. They don't look like what they were last year, but they're just winning, baby. That's what they're just doing. So Al Davis, he is impacting the Packers or Eagles. Pardon me. They just win. That's all they need to do.
Just win. Okay. Okay. So my next buy sell is the Bengals are 2-0. Man, oh man, when was the last time this happened? It's been a few years, but buying the Bengals without Joe Burrow making the playoffs. Buy or sell?
Oh man, Browning I think had 3 picks yesterday,
He
and they
did.
still won.
Two
So
touchdowns, three picks.
it's a tough one. I'm gonna sell. I don't buy it. Without Burrow. Now again, they played well, and again 3 picks, but they still win. That's still very solid, but you're not going to. I don't think you're going to consistently get that every single week. So that just opens up the door for other teams in the AFC to really take that spot. The AFC to me is very loaded. A lot of teams very good. I mean, you have some surprises there. Will the surprises
Surprises.
last? Probably not. I mean, if we're being honest with
Surprises.
you, they're not going to survive. Anyway, we'll get into that very soon, I'm sure. But yeah, no, a lot of teams in the AFC. Bengals, I think, will start tumbling and bumbling and bungling up there in Cincinnati. The Bungles will start failing without Burrow.
Quick
I am
question: do
selling.
the Steelers beat the Bengals twice this year?
I mean, they're 27-7 against them for the past 17 years or so. Without Burrow, yes, they would sweep them.
How do you remember that stat? Are you looking? Was that on the ceiling? Did you write that
They
on
were
the wall?
26-6
I see
entering
it on the
last year,
wall.
so that's why. That's
Do you
why.
have this carved on the wall? Do you hate the Bengals that much? You're like 27-17.
No,
Yeah. Okay.
I just remember the stat. But yeah, no, I would sell. Yeah, without Burrow, I think again, they won yesterday, good stuff, but they're going to start tumbling and again bungling it up. So
Oh yeah,
selling
yeah.
on the
I
Bengals.
agree. I'm selling. Sell. Browning's a capable backup, good backup. Bengals don't have a defense. Now they don't have a quarterback. They barely beat the Browns. Barely beat the Jaguars. It's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna get worse. Man, they did this with Burrow for what 1.5 games. I forget exactly when Burrow went down, but the Jaguars are awful. The Browns are awful. The Jaguars might be going towards the bottom 5. So Bengals in bad shape. They are. Yeah, they're not making the playoffs. They're done.
Okay,
They're 2-0,
yeah.
but they're
So
done
we agree. That's good to see. For now, anyway.
for now.
All right. So the Bears, obviously, they're pretty bad, but Caleb Williams also pretty bad. Now I had the Saints being the worst team in the NFL, but as we've seen over the first 2 weeks, the Bears are actually going to be the worst team in the NFL. They're going to have the number 1 pick come the 2026 NFL draft. Buy or sell on the Bears just flopping this year, number 1 pick.
Buy, sell the Bears with the number 1 pick. Well, I have an overreaction on are the Bears giving up on Caleb Williams. So that was mine, which we'll talk about next. But I'm going to say I'm going to sell the Bears because I think the Saints are going to be worse. But they're going to be right there. It could happen. But I'm leaning towards the Saints. So the odds, in my opinion, it's a little bit more for the Saints being on the bottom than the Bears. But, probably something like 60-40. So only because the numbers are slightly ahead, I'm going to, sell the Bears. But, man, I don't like it. They could easily get the number 1 pick because they are awful. Caleb sucks. He's the worst. But I'm selling. I got the Saints just below the Bears.
Yeah, so I don't know. The Bears, I'm going to buy it. I think the Bears are going to have the number 1 pick. And, I believe everyone was making fun. All the Panthers, you gave all the Bears all these picks. You gave them more. But I think the Bears are in a worse spot. Again, they have this guy that everyone, the media loves. The media loves Caleb Williams, all the arm talent and all that. But he just lacks. I don't know. He just lacks an NFL mind, to be honest with you. He just takes sacks. He's scrambling around, trying to do everything he can. He has an arm. We all know about the arm talent, but arm talent doesn't give you. You know who else had arm talent? Ryan Mallett. What is he doing?
Ryan
Mallett.
Mallett?
What a pull, I know. So he had the arm, but again, that doesn't matter. You got to be able to process. I mean, he's just not doing a good job. I think the Bears are kind of stuck with Caleb because again, they're going to be. There's kind of darned if you do, darned if you don't, if you part ways with him in a few years, if he doesn't develop, because again, everyone loves him, but I mean, you're not performing. So I think they're stuck. They're stuck. And I think they will probably have the number 1 pick this year, and they're going to have to pass on a quarterback because you already have Caleb Williams. So, which might help them. But again, how much help do you need? They've already invested so much talent onto the offensive side of the ball, and they're still not producing at an elite level. So the Bears, they are toast. They are, I think, they might get the number 1 pick for sure.
Wow. So let's assume that the Bears get the number 1 pick according to your take. Overreaction. Are the Bears giving up on Caleb Williams and they're going to get rid of him and draft a new quarterback next year? Will that happen? It seems like you're leaning the other way.
Yeah, I can't see it. As much as it seems like he can't learn anything, they have Ben Johnson now, who's supposed to be this offensive guru. Everyone was just saying this guy is going to take the Bears to the next level. That's why I got so much hate in my in the TikToks and the YouTube comments. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, what a lethal duo. Yeah, they're so lethal. They're 0-2. They're lethal to Chicago. But no, they aren't going to be. I don't think they're going to move off Caleb after this year. I think this would be Caleb Williams is Kenny Pickett. I mean,
yeah, that's a good one. Just saw that. It's a good one.
Oh man, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to answer that, but yeah, I think I'd say no. They have to really, again, like I said, the media loves the guy. They would be killed in the media.
The
if they moved
Chicago
off
media,
Caleb.
or
So
I feel like everybody I talk to hates Caleb Williams, but the
yeah,
media loves
possibly.
him.
I think there's another thing where the media and then the common fan base is very, the fans there's a disagreement there. But I can't see them moving off him after 2 years. I mean, the Panthers still have Bryce Young in year 3, so teams are willing to give them a little extra leash, as they should, because that's how it used to be. But no, I don't see them moving off Caleb after 2 years.
Yeah, I'm going to say that Bryce Young, probably this is his last year, because if he doesn't kick up his game this year, he is out the window, and the Panthers got to go get a new quarterback. But I'm saying the Bears should give up on Caleb Williams. I think as the number 1 pick, he's not showing growth. He's all he does is check downs. He was 19 for 30, 207 yards. He did throw 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, but Adunze came through this week with his 2 catches. He doesn't know what to do. He's not using his tight end. The offense, if he doesn't do it with the offensive guru Ben Johnson, like that turned Jared Goff to this mean, touchdown machine. If you can't do this with the number 1 pick, Jared Goff, Caleb Williams, it's crazy, because I think Caleb Williams has way more talent, athletic ability and way more arm talent than Jared Goff. Jared Goff to me was average, and he shot way up, and I don't think he can do this with Caleb Williams. He can't read, he can't process, he just dumps it off, and they should get rid of him. Will they get rid of him? If they were smart, they would, and redraft, trade him for whatever you can get for him. Trade him for a 3rd-round pick, and then get somebody in the top 5. Get rid of him. Cut bait. He's out.
I got you. Yeah,
He doesn't
that's
have
fair.
the intangibles either. You look at him, and he just has that sourpuss look on his face. You don't want that to be the face of your organization. I mean,
well, the Bears kind of knew that, and they took him anyway. So, you reap what you sow. So
yeah, well, you're terrible drafting, terrible. They're everything. They're terrible all around. The Bears. They're just horrible. It's bad stuff. Bad stuff.
Yeah.
So,
all right. So my last overreaction, or buy, sell, whatever you like to call it. So we saw a lot of football, obviously, the last 2 weeks, and it's awesome that
we
it's
need
back.
more.
So the Ravens obviously losing in dramatic fashion in week 1. They did bounce back, of course, against the Browns in week 2. The Chiefs, the pretty much shoe-in AFC, you can plug them into the Super Bowl type thing, AFC Championship at the very least. Well, they're 0-2. And, of course, the Bengals now, they're 2-0, and they lost Joe Burrow. You might as well just go ahead and say that the Bills are going to be the number 1 seed in the AFC. Just go ahead and hand them home field advantage in the playoffs. What say you? Buy or sell on home field number 1 seed for the Bills?
Bills, lock it in, number 1 seed. Got it. They got it. They're crushing it all the way. They took down the Ravens. The Ravens are not going to catch them. The Ravens are going to keep winning. Bills, dominant. They bounced back. They looked a lot better defensively. Lock it in. Bills, number 1 seed. Slam dunk.
Okay, I think it's crazy for you to say that with just 2 weeks into the year. I mean, what in the world? What are you saying? You're locking it in with
Josh Allen's MVP.
Are you aware there's 15 weeks left in the year?
Josh Allen's MVP. The only way this doesn't happen is if Josh Allen misses multiple games and the Ravens are able to catch him. But if otherwise, the Bills are too good with their average wide receivers. Josh Allen, he didn't even, like I said, he didn't do much. He was a second-rated QBR. The Bills are too good. And
they
should have lost to the Ravens, but still,
you're locking
number
it.
1.
You think the Bills can't drop some games and the Chiefs will pick it up like that?
Nope.
The Ravens will pick it up like that. I understand there's a tiebreaker here, but you mean the Ravens?
Maybe. I'll have to go through the schedule, but I don't think there's a chance.
Okay. I'm just giving you a hard time. Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. They just go ahead and hand them home field advantage. They're the number 1 seed. They've looked so dominant. I mean, obviously they
Domination.
started off struggling in the week 1 game, but they
That
roared
was against
back
the Ravens, the number
against the
2 seed.
Ravens. Yes,
Ravens are
exactly.
number 2.
So I would agree. I mean, I still there's so much football to be played, but I would go ahead and pick the Bills. I picked the Bills preseason. They're looking good now, so I'm thinking my picks are looking very good. I don't know. That's just me. So yeah, I'd agree as well. So
Lock it in, man. Lock it in. All right,
Yeah.
my last one, which I thought you were going to steal, but you switched it up on me at the end. So you started off saying the Chiefs are 0-2. All right, the Chiefs, the defending Super Bowl losers. What are they? Patty Mahomes has three Super Bowl wins, or is it only 2? 3,
He
right?
had 3. Yeah.
3, but
Yeah.
he lost 2, so he's 3-2,
Lost
right?
3-2.
What is he, like LeBron James of football?
LeBron.
But we're not talking about Patty Mahomes. But anyway, the Chiefs are 0-2. Overreaction. The Chiefs are 0-2. They missed the playoffs. Is that an overreaction?
That is an overreaction and a half. I mean, the Chiefs are still the Chiefs. They still have Patrick Mahomes. I understand Mahomes hasn't looked good on the stat sheet, but
And old man
honestly,
Kelsey.
I'll be honest. Yeah, Kelsey. Yeah, that guy, that bum, whatever. That guy. They don't need Kelsey. Really, I mean, Mahomes made Kelsey. Yeah, Kelsey had a 1,000-yard season with Smith, but Smith was just checking it down to the tight end. That's all he was doing there in Kansas City. So no, I mean, until they actually missed the playoffs with Mahomes is when I'll actually say they missed the playoffs with Mahomes. They could still be 0-16 at the end of the year, and like, well, they still have Patrick Mahomes.
They still have a chance.
They're still Patrick Mahomes until it's actually a set stone thing. I will never say, going into especially week 3 of an NFL season that the Chiefs are going to miss the playoffs. I mean, they should bounce back this week against the Giants. I don't know. I mean, the Giants looked all right. We got to see a little bit of Seattle Russ.
What about if they lose to the Giants?
In the regular season, and then we got to see Denver Broncos Russ in the overtime. So that was pretty cool. But
if
I'm
the
sorry, what was
Chiefs
that?
lose to the Giants.
The Chiefs
you
lose
say
to
they
the
missed the
Giants.
playoffs?
Then there's a huge, there's a panic button. Then yeah,
Then I think so. You're
they would
saying that
they would be 0-3, but even
week
then, I think
premature.
they still have. I mean, there's still Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. It's the equivalent of Bill Belichick and Brady. If Brady and the Patriots were 0-3, I don't think we would even be having this conversation. We'd still believe that they could get it together going down to the rest of the season. So no, I still, even at 0-3, I'd be like, no, they're still alive and well as much as it would pain me to say it.
Let's run this down. Let's run this down. We got Bills, okay, in the AFC, Chargers. Okay. All right, let's say Broncos. The Broncos is the one key one here. All right, so then we got Ravens is 4. Yeah. You got the Colts or the Texans is 5. So, I mean, maybe they get one of the wild cards, but we're looking at like 6 or 7. 6 or 7. Patriots
still too early. So. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, you can't. I mean, again, like I said, they are the Patriots of this era, whether I like it or not. I wish there would be no dynasties, especially in the AFC, please. But yeah, we wouldn't even be talking about this if it were Brady and Belichick, and that's what they are. 0-3, I would still have them going. And I would still believe them to go to the playoffs. So I can't think that they missed the playoffs even after 0-3. Even if they were to lose the Giants, which I doubt it. I mean, it would be awesome, but no, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, you're probably right. They probably sneak in, but we're looking at like a number 6 or 7 seed. I'm going to root that they missed the playoffs just because that would be fun to talk about. That'll be great to see. That'd be hilarious. Travis Kelce would sail off into the sunset with Taylor Swift and go and retire on a losing season, missing the playoffs. Great. Patty Mahomes reevaluates his life and becomes, the mascot for the Long Island Ducks, and he's Quacker Jack out there. Who knows? He's going to be hanging out, making picks with you at the gas station with Joe Schmo. That's what he's going to be next year.
The thing is, we have to keep in mind that they are in the AFC West. So who's there? The Raiders. Well, they've been pretty bad since childhood
but they're doing okay
to
this
now.
Year. They did all
Yeah.
right.
Well, again, just 2 weeks into the year, the Broncos, apparently the refs hate them and
Oh,
just
the
hand
refs
it,
love
hand
them.
hand
They
wins to the
love
other
them.
team. And then, of course, the Chargers. We've been told every single year, "Oh, this is the year the Chargers. They're loading up. Oh man, they're gonna do it. They're gonna
This
finally
is
go
the
to the
year of
Super
the
Bowl." And they
Chargers.
always let us down. So I
Did
understand
not.
it's a different
Not
year.
this
I
year.
understand the gas station crew that I talked to had them in the top 5, but at the end of the day, it's still
I
only
hate
2
that
weeks in the
crew.
year, and we still have much left, much more football left to be played.
Sipping your big gulps, crushing on the Chargers. That's insane. The Chargers are going to win a playoff game this year. All right, they're winning a playoff game, and I hope it's against
I might as
the
well hang up a
Chiefs.
banner.
Chargers Chiefs first game. Chargers beat them again. Pow.
Swift is
Pow, pow,
already writing
pow.
the divorce album. That's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, hey, Kelsey goes 6-11, or they go 6-11. Swift is like, I don't want to marry a loser. I could easily see that. Hey, they got their three-peat, by the way. The Chiefs did. They lost Super Bowl. They lost week 1. They lost in week 2. Three-peat. So congratulations to the Chiefs on your three-peat. Shout out to all the Chiefs
Yeah, I
fans
think
getting their
that
three-peat. Finally, maybe not in the game that they thought or the fashion, but they did get their three-peat. So what
3
you
in a
got next?
row. I don't think Patty Mahomes ever lost 3 games in a row in the NFL. I think they were saying so.
Yeah.
That's pretty intense. All right, so let's hop to our picks. We got about 18 minutes to run down how our picks from last week, and then we'll from this weekend, and then
Yeah.
see how the teams did with a quick
Yeah.
little recap of each game and how we foresee these teams going. I went 11-3. This week I lost on your Steelers, so I know we both lost on that. Your Steelers, and then I lost on the Colts because I took the Broncos, so I'm glad I lost that one. And the Vikings, J.J. McCarthy did not come through. I took the home team in a close one, hoping that it was the J.J. McCarthy of the fourth quarter, which he wasn't. It was the first 3 quarters. So those are my 3 bombs.
Yeah, you're looking good. You're at what? You're 23-7. Jeez,
95%.
So who do you have tonight? Do you have Houston and the Chargers?
The playoff Chargers. They're going to beat the Chiefs. Yes, Chargers over the Raiders. And I got the Bucks beating the Texans.
Okay, so I have the same as you. So I have no chance to catch up. Okay, I went 9-5. You know, it was looking really bad for me at one point in time, but kind of made it a little better with that Sunday night game. We'd be looking at 8-6 if Minnesota had lost that one. But yeah, I'm 9-5. Lost out Pittsburgh. Obviously, Pittsburgh just horrible defense. The defense was terrible once again. Again, I love hearing about how good the Steelers' defense is. I don't know. I'd like to see it for a change, though. And of course, the offensive line, they don't know how to protect anybody. We've been seeing this for the past 6 years. Pittsburgh just completely manhandled. And then there's the boneheaded kickoff return goes. That bounces in the landing zone, that it lands in the end zone. Caleb Johnson, I guess, thinks it's college football or something. But yeah, no, that's a live ball, and that's a free touchdown for the Seahawks. So I lost out on that one. I had the Saints upsetting the Niners, kind of just to mix things up there, but they let me down. Those bums.
Yeah, that was a
in New
game
Orleans.
time decision you made.
That was a game. That was literally a minute before the show. I'm like, all right, I'll just go ahead and do it. That's fine with me. It wasn't fine, actually. They let me down. I had the Dolphins over the Patriots. The Dolphins offense finally showing up. They were getting wrecked, I think, 12-0 into the second quarter. But then they caught fire, but it was just too little too late. The Patriots over the sorry, I'm just changing up the lighting here. Patriots over the Dolphins. So I lost on that one. Well, really, again, I should be 10-4, and you should also be 10. Well, no, you would be 10-4 as well, because the Colts and the Broncos game, the referees, like, you just barely touched the snapper, and apparently it's a flag. You get to call it whenever you want. It's such a discretion call. It's ridiculous. I can't believe my camera is all fuzzy over here. Hi, everyone. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, apparently you can call it whenever you want. It's ridiculous. The Colts get lucky there at Indy. I picked Kansas City over the Kansas City over the Eagles. it just yeah, that just didn't work out again. Kelsey kind of throwing there at the end, and yeah. Wait, was that only 4? No, that's 5. Yeah, so those are my 5 losses. Everything else was fine.
Well,
And
if the
I'm sorry for the
Broncos,
camera. The camera is messing up over here.
if the Broncos win, I would have been 12-2 with my picks, not 10-4, because I took the
No,
Broncos.
that's right. That's right.
So I
That's
would
right.
have swung me the other way, and it would have been total domination. But I'm glad I lost. But we'll go do a little 15-minute recap of our games and how we feel about these teams. So we'll start with the Commanders Packers. I think we talked about it. It's a Super Bowl pick. The Packers dominated the Commanders. They shut down Daniels. Daniels looked bad. He was the 25th overall QBR, 27.8. That's because a few teams didn't play. It's not out of 32. It's out of 27 teams right now. He's 25th out of 27. That Packers defense, way better than I thought. They're rising up. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, the Packers just look so good. I mean, I think we both covered that game. Packers. I mean, that's the final score was closer than what it should have been. I think it was what 27-10 or something like that. I actually
27-18.
27. Well, yeah, no, that was the final score, but like the Washington just kind of stat padding there at the end of the game. The Packers were really all over them, and again, they look very good. So yeah, nothing really to add there. Packers look legit. I really
All right.
think I believe
Yeah, I'll
in
go
them.
down my list instead of switching it up. The
That's
Giants
fine.
Cowboys. You can start.
Well, I got to catch the end of that one after the Steelers' disastrous loss. That looked like it was an exciting game. Would have been a great game to cover. Going back and forth, that was kind of we were, I'm sure, both following it as the day was going along, and it was just back and forth. Giants were leading, and the Cowboys took the lead. Again, we got to see a little bit of Seattle Russ during the game, but in overtime, I don't know what he was doing. He just channeled his inner Broncos Russ,
Huh?
and just kind of started blowing it away. So I don't know, just with that disastrous pick. And then, yeah, I mean, Aubrey, you think he had a 64 yarder as
Aubrey.
well. It's ridiculous how
To
these
force
kickers,
overtime,
yeah,
64 yarder.
it's ridiculous that these kickers can just kick so far now in the football rule, the
Yeah.
football, the special
And then he
football they
wins
have.
it in overtime with a chip shot. I think it was 45 yards. Little chip
Yeah,
shot.
yeah. So definitely that was a great game. But yeah, good stuff, Dallas. But again, it's only a 3-point win, so Cowboys fans don't get too excited. I mean, the Giants still. I mean, it's the same Giants team that got destroyed week 1, so you just barely beat them week 2. We'll see
Completely
what happens.
ridiculous. They let up 450 yards to Russell Wilson, the Cowboys. They're in bad shape. They're not making the playoffs. But that was a crazy offensive game. No defense. That was wild. I need to go watch the end in like the last 10 minutes or the fourth quarter of that game from beginning to end. That was pretty
Yeah.
insane. When I was seeing like the game breaks, I'm like, oh my god, what is happening? This is wild. But all right, Seahawks Steelers. Aaron Rodgers underperformed. I have the Seahawks as one of the worst teams in the league. Darnold, I think it was 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, and Walker running all over the Steelers, and that was pretty crazy. I still gonna have the Seahawks towards the bottom, but I wasn't high on the Steelers this year. I had them around 24. I forget where I had them. You didn't like it. You had them higher. Let me see. Steelers. I had them 25. That's where they are.
Jeez.
That's where I had them before, but that's what they're
Ugh.
playing like. They barely beat the Jets. The Jets looked awful this week.
Yeah,
Steelers
they did.
are bad news. I'll let you talk more about your Steelers because you have that emotional
Well,
attachment to
yeah.
them.
Again, the defense terrible. The defense actually only responsible for 24 points, but
Oh, that
it
kick,
was
right? Ugh.
but it's still. I mean, it was still a terrible performance on defense. I mean, they forced 2. They had 2 picks, and again, they were still allowing Seattle to go up and down the field on them. And of course, again, the offense. I mean, Rodgers doing all he can. I mean, again, the stat sheet doesn't reflect how he actually performed. He's doing all he could, but it's just there's no the receivers not getting separation, and then the offensive line. That is just the big thing. I mean, they can't protect them. They really can't, and it might be a long season if the Steelers' offensive line looks like that. But
Yeah,
yeah, Darnold looked like Montana. I like that comment. I would agree. Darnold was slicing and dicing the Steelers' elite defense.
Thanks, Draven, and the Rhino knows ball. We both know ball. Dr. Delay on top of his game. We this is why I chose
Not
the
my
Dr.
cannon.
Delay. This is fun. This is great. We both have our takes. We both know what's going on. It's just sometimes it pushes you to a different direction. That's
Yeah.
what it is. So
Oh yeah.
shout out to Draven on your end.
Draven's the legend.
The thing with the Steelers. So real quick before we move to the next game, we got 10 minutes left. The Aaron Rodgers. I was looking. I didn't watch the game. You watched it. He throws so much to the running backs and the tight ends. I think Metcalf. I think he had three
Yeah.
catches for 20 yards, if I remember.
Metcalf had a few drops, but yeah, again, like I said, that's a result of the offensive line not giving him a lot of time, so he has to quickly check it down. And again, also the receivers not really getting separation, so I can tell he was very upset. He threw a pick earlier, and he was just yelling at Austin to cut out or cut back in and just kind of drive towards him, but. Again, just seemingly a miscommunication there
So
with the
not on the
receivers.
same page with
Not on
Austin.
the same page with the offense right now. I mean, there was two receivers in the area as well. I think he was trying to go to Fryermuth in the back, but I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, right now there
Austin
seems
is
to
your
be a
number
lot of.
two. Austin is
I
your number.
guess I don't know if Austin's really the number two, but it's like I said again, the offense
That's
there
rough.
is looking bad. Rodgers is playing much better than the stats, though. I can tell you that.
Rams. Well, actually, he was towards the bottom. He was number 23
I
on the
don't
QBR,
care about
30.8.
QBR. I don't
23
care.
ranked quarterback, but it could be because he
I
doesn't
don't
have
want
any
to hear
wide
it.
receivers. So,
Don't want to hear it.
all right. So 23rd ranked QBR. I think it was 23, right? 23, delay 23. The 23rd ranked QBR. You want to hear it? You want to hear it? Okay. Moving on. Rams Titans. Rams going to be the champions of the NFC West. 33-19, blowing up the Titans. Not much to talk about. Rams are towards the top. Titans on the bottom. I don't think you're high on the Rams, but with the healthy Stafford and Puka Nacua, that offense is good. The defense, they held the Texans to 9 and the Titans to 19, which is kind of shocking. But Rams moving on up. I love it.
Yeah, like you said, not much to talk about. The Rams look good. They're 2-0, which honestly I could have seen that coming, but we'll see how that goes. Again, they have a tough division. Again, the Niners. I'm high on the Niners. I believe the Cardinals are legit as well. I think they're a playoff team. And of course, the Seahawks. I'm not saying the Seahawks are any good, but they did play the Niners tough, and of course, they had their way with the Steelers, who I think are at least an average team, but they do look not so great at the moment. But yeah, the Rams look good. The Titans kind of doing what I think all expected. They're going to struggle. Cam Ward, not really much there. I mean, Cam's all right. I think he'll be okay, but there's not much talent there in Tennessee.
I'm not a fan of what I'm seeing. Bills and Jets. Bills won 30-10. Josh Allen's a moose. He's the beast. He might win back-to-back MVPs. The Jets, Fields got injured, concussion. With Fields, without Fields. Fields looked awful. It was terrible. Jets are bad. They're crumbling down with the Dolphins at the bottom of that division. That's all I got on that one.
Yeah, I agree. And the Bills look like they are potentially the best team in the NFL, or at least in the AFC. And the Jets, I think they tried really hard. Fields really did all he could to try to give the Steelers an opening day loss, but seemingly that's all he had. So he didn't really do much yesterday.
Patriots, Dolphins. Patriots won 33-27. They both had a couple special teams touchdowns. The Dolphins returned, I think, a punt for a touchdown, and then the Patriots returned the kickoff for a touchdown. That was crazy. Drake May, 2 touchdowns through the air, 1 on the ground. Looked amazing. Tua played better, but Dolphins still aren't good. Patriots a little bit better. So it was good to see Drake May learning a little bit, but could be the Dolphins are just not good.
Dolphins, I don't think are good. Unfortunately, I mean, when you're having players-only meetings after week 1, that's usually not a good sign. They might just be completely a different team next year. Quarterback, head coach, everything. Tyreek Hill, again, there's rumors of him being on the trade block or whatnot. But yeah, it's a disaster. Patriots picking up a good win. I had them starting. I mean, they should have won week 1, but it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to add there.
Who should have won week 1?
I think the Patriots should have won week 1 against the Raiders. Yeah.
But yeah,
the Dolphins. Well, yeah. Anyway, it
The
is what it is.
Raiders, they did it right last week, but the Dolphins have the Bills next week, so Bills are 3-0, and the Dolphins are 0-3 already. You heard it here first. Good call on that one, RC. Jaguars, Bengals, injury to Burrow we mentioned. Bengals are 2-0. Jaguars 0-2. Lawrence still looking like an average quarterback at best, and I don't think the Bengals have much of a future with Browning out there. So that's it on that one.
Yeah, the Bengals. I mean, we both, I think, think that this might be trending in a bad direction for the Bengals with the Burrow injury. But of course, hey, they start off 2-0, so maybe they can keep it going. Jaguars, I still think they can definitely win the AFC South. I understand you might feel differently on that, but yeah, I'm gonna go with I'm still going with the Jaguars. They still, I mean, they didn't really look bad. I mean, putting up 27 points isn't too shabby. They were away. The Bengals, are the home team. We'll see. I don't know. Again, it's still too early to tell on some of these teams, but I'm still thinking the Jaguars are they're heading in the right direction.
Jaguars are 1-1. That's right. They beat the Panthers last week.
Yes.
Uh, anyway, AFC South champions Jaguars. Not going to happen. Niners, Saints, 26-21. Niners held on to beat the Saints. They know how we feel about the Saints. Niners are injured, got the win, so good for them. Anything else to add on?
Not much there. Again, the Niners getting a win with injuries. I think that says a lot about them going forward.
What's up, Dallas? Dallas arriving here early. What's up? Okay, the Ravens won 41-17. Browns are bad. They're 0-2. They're going to keep crumbling. Old man Flacco, if you will. Ooh, it's rough to watch. We might see Dylan Gabriel sooner rather than later, especially if they lose a few more games. There's no need to keep playing Flacco. You might as well throw Dylan Gabriel out there, maybe even Shedeur Sanders. Who knows? But Ravens, too good. Second best team in the AFC.
Yeah, I would say the Ravens are definitely second best team in the AFC, and yeah, I'd agree. I think we'll probably see Gabriel very soon. Honestly, part of me is like I want to see Shedeur just because I want to kind of have a good time ripping him because I'm anti Shedeur.
Huh?
But yeah,
a lot of people are. They'll love it.
Oh yeah,
God love
yeah.
that content.
He's definitely polarizing. People love him. People don't like him. I'm not. I'm one of those that do not like him. So, but yeah, I think honestly, Gabriel probably would fit that Browns offense. They want to try to ball control, get the the defense, win the game pretty much. And of course, Gabriel keeps the drive alive with the short completions, kind of a. Not saying he's Drew Brees, but that's type of what that's what he does. He just going for the completion and trying to keep the drive moving forward. But yeah, Browns looking bad.
Bad. Bears, Lions. Lions squash them 52-21. You got the Bears as the worst team in the league. Lions moving on up. And I don't think we have to add anything to that. We're at the 2-minute warning with 4 games to go. So this is where we cruise through the last 4. Broncos, Colts. Let's hop on this game. This is where I'm going to spend most of my energy in the final 2 minutes. You were talking about that penalty at the end, but there was a bunch of pass interference that they didn't call on the Broncos defense in the end zone. The Colts could have had 2 touchdowns instead of 2 field goals, giving them a way bigger lead, which would have changed the whole game. Bo Nix would have been behind, and he wouldn't have had 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, because he'd be playing catch-up with the Colts. So the rest were in the favor of the Broncos in that first half of that game. And they eased up towards the end, and then bam, the Broncos got crushed on that 60-yard field goal, hopping on the center. It's illegal. You don't like it. But I feel like it's karma because they missed a bunch of calls on holding and pass interference, and they got the points back at the end with a 45-yard field goal to win the game. Colts outplayed the Broncos. They out-yarded them, out-first downed them, out-turnover. They were the better team. They played better, and the penalties in the beginning is what gave the Broncos a little bit of an edge. And yeah, I think the Colts are half step ahead of the Broncos, and it turned out the right way at the end because the Colts were clearly a slightly better team yesterday.
I guess you called the game, so you watched the game. It does sound like a lot of bias, so it sounds like a Colts fan. That's what would
well the first few They
all,
were 50-50. Could have went either
I
way,
don't
but
know.
they both
I mean,
went.
again, all the guy did at the end was just touch the guy. He didn't even really use him for leverage. Barely touched. It was like he touched him. Like, oh my gosh, yeah, what did I just do? Like it was an accident, pretty much.
What if your foot
And
accidentally
again,
touches out of bounds?
yeah,
Then
I mean,
he's
the
out of
ref
bounds.
is just
He's out
a
of bounds.
crucial call. The ref should be ashamed of himself. Pretty much just cost the Broncos a dub.
They cost them in the first quarter. All right. Panthers, Cardinals. Go ahead.
The Panthers almost had a shot to win. I'm kind of shocked by that. The Cardinals were controlling the whole game. I was following it along with the, on the StatCast or whatever. Calling the Chiefs-Eagles game. But the Cardinals win again. They're I think the Cardinals are a solid team. I really think they're a playoff team. So shout out to them again. Yeah, the Cardinals. Panthers again. Almost had a chance to win, but it's not looking good in this year 3 for Bryce Young, or is it year 3? So he's got to get it together, or he's done.
Bryce Young is probably done. The Cardinals are a playoff team. They're playing pretty well with Murray. They're both running backs, Benson and Connor. So Cardinals moving on up. I got them in the playoffs. So they get the win. They hold on. They did what they had to do. Eagles, Chiefs. You called that game. Take it away.
Yeah. Again, shout out Kelsey for that tipped pass interception. Good stuff, Kelsey. Thank you very much. Honestly, again, I picked the Chiefs to win, but wasn't really too mad about the result because all it does is, put the Chiefs down at 0-2. AFC, I see them still as competition. And again, the Eagles barely winning, but all you got to do is win. It doesn't matter if you win by 1 point every week. If you win by 1 point every week, well, guess what? You're 17-0, and that's all that matters. Hurts barely over 100 yards, but Barkley, again, so good. I mean, it doesn't really matter if Hurts gets a lot of passing yards because Barkley is going to make it up on the ground. And the defense is really good. Mahomes, by the way, shout out Mahomes. He's actually not – I mean, he's new. He's doing a lot on the ground. I think his receivers are actually pretty bad. I got to see. They weren't really helping him out as much, so he had to take off and run. And
Worthy didn't play, right?
What's that?
Worthy didn't play?
Worthy was out. But yeah,
Hollywood
Brown was, again, he was really the only one trying to get separate. Everyone else it was just not good. Of course, old man Kelsey taking up a spot on the field. So, but yeah, I mean, it was pretty bad from Mahomes. Really, the stats would look bad for him, but he really he played all right. He didn't look too bad.
Man, oh man. Yeah, so the Eagles just win. They just keep winning. The defense apparently played a lot better. They only let up 17 points to the Chiefs, and they beat two top teams. Well, not two top teams. They beat the Cowboys and then the Chiefs. So good stuff for the Eagles. They are rising on up in the NFC. They're going to stay up there. So not much else to say. They're a beast. But hopefully the Chiefs miss the playoffs. But they might make it and squeak on in. We're in overtime. Let's go. Last game, Sunday Night Football. Falcons, Vikings. The Falcons destroyed the Vikings 22-6. McCarthy looked lost again all game. 2 turnovers. I think even lost a fumble. I can't remember that. But the Falcons' defense was impressing me. They just kept sacking McCarthy. And they did okay against the run. But I'm impressed with Bijan Robinson. He was running all over the Falcons. He looks good. Marshall Faulk 2.0. He can run it. Oh, man, he looks so smooth just with his cuts. It's amazing to see. And he's a threat out of the backfield. The Falcons looking good. They might be able to contend with the Bucs in their division.
Yeah, no, the Falcons are legit. And again, I did pick Tampa Bay to beat the Falcons week 1, but again, Falcons, they swept them last year. They're not a bad team. I don't know. I mean, I've been hearing that they're supposed to win the NFC South the past 3 or 4 years, and they just don't do it. But no, they're solid. I picked them, of course, to beat the Vikings. Vikings, I don't really have much faith. I'd like to see more of McCarthy. And, well, I'm glad I didn't really watch the game because it doesn't sound like I missed much other than he was just not very good.
It was bad.
Sounds like it was just a field goal fest. I mean, you were talking about 80s movies. I'm like, well, I have these old people in the chat. I'm like, I'm not going to communicate with these guys. I'm out of touch with you guys, I guess, or you're out of touch with the current times. That's what it sounded like in the chat last night. But, yeah, it doesn't sound like it was a great game. So, yeah, the Falcons.
We were hanging out with all the people from the gas station. They went and they hung out.
Hey, you know what? We all had a great time. The committee, all 13 of us. It's a 13-man committee.
Well, it was so many field goals. It was like 15-6, and it was all field goals until they had the touchdown in the fourth. So in between the lull of action, because action. We were talking about old school movies, and they're just naming different '80s movies. I didn't even see half of the movies that
Yeah.
they were talking about, but
No,
apparently
I was just picking.
apparently
You're
we have
good.
lots of
You're
movies we got to
good.
watch, Dr. DeLay. I know you love movies. We're going to get
Oh,
100 movies down, and in the summer, we're going to go down there and we're going to start our own movie channel as well. So get
as
ready.
long as the committee's with me, that's fine.
The committee. Oh, man. The flipping committee drives me bonkers. That's our take. That's our picks. We'll be back again Thursday morning for a pre-snap read, previewing Thursday Night Football and the weekend. We're going to do it again. You guys are awesome. Awesome stuff. Close it out, Dr. DeLay.
Thank you guys for hanging out this morning. I really appreciate you guys hanging out. Clicking on just the video helps out these channels a lot. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Or
Dr.
channels,
DeLay.
I should say. Rising Rhino and Dr. DeLay. Hey, this is what we do. We call games. So again, if you're a sports fan that hasn't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Subscribe to the channel. All you're going to get is some great play-by-play with Dr. DeLay, and of course on Rising Rhino's channel, Rising Rhino, and vice versa, of course.
All right, we're shutting it down. We're starting our day. And one thing to remember, don't drink the toilet